Peace and richest blessings. I am Michael B. Beckwith, the host of Take Back Your Mind. Dynamic blessings to all of you, and I appreciate you and your time for stopping and taking care of yourself, stopping and participating in the Take Back Your Mind life questions. I'm appreciating you for doing that, but I'm speaking for your soul, because your soul is saying in substance, be careful where you give your attention to, because oftentimes people give their attention to the news reels or scanning through social media and things of that particular nature. But what you've done right now, you're giving your attention to your own growth, development, and unfoldment, and having your mind seeded with possibilities of transformation. That's extremely important, and I'm so glad that you are choosing what's valuable for your soul. Thank you so much. Welcome to Take Back Your Mind Life Question. I am Michael B. Beckwith, the founder of Agape International Spiritual Center, which is the main sponsor of the podcast, and the author of Spiritual Liberation and other books, and the host of Take Back Your Mind. Listen, we have a question from Jade, and she is in Alexandria, Virginia. She said, I used to think I had a great relationship with my father, but a year ago I was triggered when his wife made negative comments about my mother and attending my dad's 60th birthday. I discovered she had negative feelings towards my mother for 20 years. This brought up some childhood trauma that I suppressed around my dad. First, he's a functioning alcoholic who's went from being a corporate VP to not having steady employment since 2009. Second, he cheated on my mother, married his mistress, then cheated on her with the woman that is now his current wife. Third, he has fostered a toxic blended family dynamic involving a lot of manipulation, control, triangulation, and secrets. While I forgave my stepmother for her comments, I no longer wish to be a part of my dad's family. I just want a healthy relationship with him only. However, he keeps pushing me to repair things with his wife. I made an effort, but I'm tired of faking and forcing something that doesn't feel natural. I feel that if I don't continue with this fake family facade, he won't be there for me. How can I navigate this? I've been doing some deep spiritual work, so I know none of this is my fault. So how do I manage this? Jade, what a great question. We're going to go from a macro level to a micro level on this question. You and your dad. First of all, at this stage of your unfoldment, where you are a practitioner of spiritual principles, your dad's not your dad anymore. He's your brother. When you get to a certain point of development, of maturity, you switch the dynamic from being your dad, and you begin to see that your dad is an individual that's on his own journey, on his own spiritual path. Your dad gave the energy through your mom for you to be born and have a human incarnation. Everything else is a bonus. So the things that he did when you were growing up, him having an affair, even though he was married to your mother, and then having another affair and marrying someone else, that's all his journey. That's all his journey with his lessons that will unfold for him. For you, he's now your brother. Now, what happens when you begin to see him as a brother? The sting and the trauma caused by your perception of how he should have been as a dad begins to be dissolved. You've said you've done some deep spiritual work around that in terms of forgiveness. That will quicken because you're no longer looking to him to being a father figure. What are you doing? You're going directly to the presence to give you whatever it is that you need to fulfill your destiny, not your biological father. Now, in traditional psychological technologies, there's a lot of time spent on the wounds of a child where their parents are concerned. However, if you start to shift spiritually and say, hey, they brought me to earth, perhaps, but they're a brother and sister like everyone else, then a lot of the psychological sludge that's being held by an individual thinking that their dad or their mom should have been a different way starts to dissolve. Because you don't have that as an expectation. That which you were trying to get from your mom and dad, you get from the universe. You get directly from the source of all creation. And it starts to unravel your expectations, which starts to unravel your pain, and starts to unravel all kinds of ways that you've been anticipating them to being a different way. You don't have any expectations of them being any different. They're on their own path. That's your brother. That's your sister. That's the macro level. Now, obviously, you're doing some forgiveness work around his present wife, which was a woman that he had an affair on with his previous wife, which was the mistress when he was married to your mother. He has his own daytime soap opera, your dad here, your biological dad. He's like, running amok with creating drama. Now, here's your deal. You said, I want a healthy relationship with him only. He keeps pushing me to repair something with his wife. Listen, you can be cordial, you can be loving, but she talked about your mama, okay? She talked about your mom. And so definitely there's forgiveness that needs to happen there, and you can be forthcoming as an adult and say, don't talk about my mother again, not in my presence. You can be an adult and you can say that. And then you can be friendly. You may not ever be friends unless there's some dynamic changes that take place. Don't try to be friends with her. That's your dad's wife. Have a relationship with your biological dad, and you can absolutely disassociate yourself from being a part of that family dynamic. Now, you are a part of that family, but you don't have to be a part of the family dynamic. You are a sovereign being. All of what you need comes from God, which goes to this question. You said something like, I'm tired of faking it. Yes, we've talked about that. Oh, here it is. This is a statement you make that is unlawful. I mean, metaphysically unlawful. I feel if I don't continue with this fake family facade, he won't be there for me. Don't expect him to be there for you. Don't live your life hoping your dad is going to be there for you. He may or may not have the maturity to do that. Where are you going to get what you need from? God. I don't mean a man in the sky. I mean your connection to the presence of God. As you mature in it, your needs will be met. There will be harmonizing prosperity. There will be opportunities that open up for you. There will be right employment. There will be wisdom and guidance as to how you should navigate through your life. But you're not expecting it to come from your biological dad. He's having his own issues of integrity. You just said it. He had a mistress, married her, and then had another affair and married her. I'm not in judgment of the man. He's on his own path. He's looking for something in all the wrong places. Don't expect him to be there for you the way you think he should be. Just love him exactly as he is. Don't love him because he's doing something good or he's changing or have this idyllic, romantic version of him that hopefully he attains to. No, don't do that. Accept him exactly as he is. Just love him. You don't have to be a part of the family dynamic. Just have that relationship with exactly as he is. Now, the thing about it is, if you just love him the way he is, you might see some changes in him. There may become a time where he makes amends with you and says, you know what? I made some mistakes in life. I started drinking. The alcohol blurred my vision. I made bad decisions. He might do that. He might go to Alcoholics Anonymous. He might go to Al-Anon. He might make changes. But don't live your life waiting for that. Love and accept him exactly as it is. Come out of the family dynamic, be friendly, and keep on stepping with the awareness that the presence of God within you is the source of all of your good. It does not come from man whose breath is in his nostrils. It comes directly from the infinite. I appreciate this question. I think you've helped a lot of people, Jade. I think you did. I may have been a little terse, but I just don't get down with the romantic visions that people have of their parents, what they should have been, all of that. They're doing the best they can. Accept them as they are, relegate them or uplift them to them being your brother and your sister, not your mom and dad. Now, some people do have enlightened parents that create an environment for growth and love and communication. And that's a bonus. That's sweet. A lot of people didn't. Bless them. Keep on stepping. Now, here's this. Ask yourself, what quality got birthed in you because of the seeming dysfunction between your birth mom and your birth dad? What grew in you that you can now say, if it wasn't for that, what looked like a relationship debacle, what quality did I have? That's my own quality that I gave birth to because of all that my father did or did not do. Be grateful for that quality. Celebrate it. Be grateful for it. Own it. That's the blessing. And then keep on stepping. You can do this. I know you can, or you wouldn't be tuning in to Take Back Your Mind, where this is about transformation, not just acquiescing to negative circumstances, but our own inner transformation. You're more powerful than you think. Way more powerful than you think. You're not daddy's little girl. You are a daughter of the Most High. That's who you are. This particular question is coming from Shay, S-H-A-Y. Is it possible to really dislike something but still be grateful for it? Does the feeling of disliking something actually negate the effect of my gratitude practice? See, I bought a new house because I couldn't afford what I truly wanted. I justified cutting quarters in order to purchase a new home. While I'm regularly grateful for my new home, I practice gratitude regularly. She has that in parentheses. Part of the reality I'm facing is that my home also reminds me of my feelings of lack, which is what I'm trying to overcome. Please provide some insight. Thank you. Your answer is in your question, of course, Shay. Listen, there are individuals on the planet who would love to be in your shoes, who would love to have the home you have. There are individuals walking the street. There are individuals sleeping on bus stops. There are individuals that are living 5, 6, 7, 8 deep in a house because they can't afford to have an apartment or a home of their own. So first of all, relatively, become grateful for what you have. Secondly, with the home you do have, make it as beautiful as you possibly can. And bless every room in your home. You know, one of the practices that I do, I'm just thinking about it as I'm speaking to you. When I wake up in the morning, I take incense sticks and I put these incense sticks practically in every room of my house, and I bless the home. I even take incense and put it in the backyard and the front yard and bless the whole home as a sign of safety and protection and well-being. And then there are rocks in front of my home. I take the rocks, particularly the ones that gravity knocks out of the bed of rocks that are there, and I say, I command these rocks to shout out the name of the Christ. Safety, protection, harmonizing prosperity for my family and for everyone who enters this home. Then I throw them back into the rock bed. It's just an environment. Now the home I'm living in, I like it. It's cool. I mean, it's not the home I want to finally live in, but I'm not going to complain about that. I love it. It's beautiful. It takes care of all my needs, and if I live in it for the rest of my life, I'm good with it. So I'm telling you, yes, be grateful. And when you see the thought forms of disliking, or even disliking the decision of cutting corners to get into a house you could afford, reframe that. Reframe it. You made a decision based on the money you had at that moment. It was a great decision at the time. But be grateful and take care of the home as it is. Now, beautify it as much as you can. Let me just backstep a little bit. Let me tell you about gratitude. You know what happiness is? Happiness is you living in the exact situation you're in now, but without any expectations, but being full of gratitude. You hear that? It's a practice. You become happy for things exactly as they are, without expectations, but you imbue yourself with gratitude, and this is what happens. Gratitude is the portal through which more good flows into your life. Complaining and bemoaning your fate constricts the good coming into your life. Gratitude is the portal that you become more open to good. So what happens? You stop complaining. You become grateful for exactly life as it is now, not the way you hope it's going to be, but the way it is now without expectations. Now more good can flow into your life. You don't know what may happen. You may find a great deal by which you'll be able to parlay the equity that you have in your home now, sell the home you have now, and go into a home that you love even more. We don't know, but I do know this for sure, that if you create an open portal called gratitude without any expectation, more good will flow into your life. It'll surprise you. It'll shock you. Your thinking will change. Ooh, my God. Compelling right action. Serendipity. Spontaneous goodness. Coincidence. These things will begin to happen. So here's your question. Is it possible to really dislike something but still be grateful for it? I'm inviting you to release the dislike and the feeling tone of lack. You bought a house. You bought a house. Call it a starter house. Just change the name. It's my starter house. It's like people wear little bits of gold around their neck. They call it a Mr. T starter kit. I'm kind of joking, but it just came into my mind. People have starter houses. People have starter apartments. People have starter flats. They have starter. Do you realize I was just looking at these two actors. I don't know if I'm going to name them, but they're famous now. And they have the story of, and I've met both of them. And when they moved to LA, they lived in an apartment together that didn't even have a front door. And it had a fence around the house that they had to hop over to get into the apartment. Today, they're both multimillionaires, great actors, but they left at where they started. It was their starter apartment. And they were grateful for it because they weren't homeless. They had a place to come in and get out of the rain. Call your house a starter house. Be grateful for it. Open up the portal for more good to flow into you. And realize you bought a house. The way the housing market is now and the way the economy is, and this is just the world of appearances, it's not in the real life of God. There's so many people that cannot, at this precise moment, afford to even buy a little house. It's not even on their radar right now. You did it. Congratulate yourself that you bought a house. Call it a starter house. Love it. Be grateful. And watch the universe pour more good into you than you can possibly imagine. Okay? Okay, Shay? Do it. I appreciate you. Everyone, you've heard the life questions. Have a wonderful day. I know you will. I know you can. Peace and blessings. Peace and dynamic blessings. Many of you have written letters about how much you really appreciate the Take Back Your Mind podcast and the life questions. So appreciate those letters. Now, our particular program here, these episodes, it's powered by spiritual purpose, but it also has powerful sponsorship. The primary sponsor is Agape International Spiritual Center. So everything that goes on here, Agape is behind it. So what I want you to do, I want you to support to Take Back Your Mind podcast. go to agapelive.com, make a donation, put a little indication that you're supporting the podcast in that donation, or text the word give to 424-321-6243. Write the word podcast so we know you're supporting this wonderful program of Take Back Your Mind. The secondary sponsor is Neutralize. This is the company that actually produces my particular supplemental line called Adaptozen. I have the super greens, I have the Elevate fermented mushrooms, and a number of other products that are emerging. Just go to neutralize.com, find Adaptozen, and you know what? Uplift your spirit, uplift your body. Remember to share all of this with your friends and support our wonderful sponsor. Have a beautiful day. OMG. Oh my God. Welcome to the meditation portion of Take Back Your Mind. You know, I love to meditate. I love it. I love it. I was meditating, not yesterday, but the day before. I meditated yesterday, don't get me wrong. But I set my timer for, I had to get to a meeting, so I knew I couldn't go for a long period of time. So I set my timer for 22 minutes and 22 seconds. And I was in such a moment of coherence and connection. And it was just sublime. And a thought went past my awareness. You've been sitting for a long time. Another thought came in and says, no, but you set the timer. It just feels like it's a long time. I just kept meditating. And finally, I looked at my phone and I had accidentally set the time to 4 hours, 22 minutes and 22 seconds. And so I didn't go the whole 4 hours, but I had this a long period of time that when I look back on it, felt like a blip, because I was in it. And so I said, I had to hustle a little bit to, get to the next appointment that I had agreed to go to. But I'm just saying that I love the meditation. I love pulling away from time and space. I love observing the thoughts that are moving through the awareness, knowing that those thoughts aren't mine, that they're not me, they're just thought forms, opinions, points of view, things of that particular nature. And I'm inviting you to establish a meditation practice. Doesn't matter how long it is. I'm inviting you to establish a time in which you pull away from the world, pull away from your own opinions, the constellation of your shifting personalities that are a reaction to what's ever going on in the world or what's ever going on in your own life. There's something about you that is untouched by time, human experience, people's opinions of you, your own opinions of yourself. There's something about you that's real and eternal. And as you incrementally have a level of alignment with it and awaken to it, the trajectory of your life will change from glory to a greater glory. That's what I know about meditation. Stop with me right now. Close your eyes. Have your feet not permanently, but presently placed on the ground in front of you. Have your back being very straight, erect, but not rigid. You're not creating tension. You're just aware that you have a posture of respect for the presence of God. You're not slumping. Your back is straight. Just place our hands on our laps, facing upwards, a sign of receptivity. And for a second, I want you to become aware of what's passing through your mindscape, your sky of mind. What's passing through? What thoughts are passing through? What opinions? There may even be a mood that's passing through. People would say from time to time, you're in a mood. No, the mood is in you. You're so big, you're so massive, you're so infinite. The mood is passing through you. Just be aware of it, all of that, to the best of your ability. And be aware of this. That which is observing, that which is passing through you, that's closer to the real you. Become aware of you as the observer. Become aware of you observing the content passing through your awareness. Now you're starting to come in harmony with your super soul self, your real self, that observes all of this. That observes all of this. It's observing your body temple, your emotional body, your mental body, opinions. Now, this is more you, free and unencumbered from how you think about what other people might be thinking about you, or even what a personality part of you is thinking about yourself. You're becoming free from the quagmire of thinkingness. Simply watch. Now add this intention. I intend to wake up from the sleepwalking in a world that only exists in our minds, a simulation of time and space. The observer is saying, I intend to wake up from the quagmire of thoughts and opinions that have created a world that is transitory and temporary and illusory. I'm waking up. Intend to wake up. Intend to stay awake. As this quietude is becoming real, the solitude real, the sacred silence real, and your observer self, you're more identified with it than with that which is passing through. You're coming into real meditation. Intend to wake up and watch as you move through your day. There will be signs of expanded awareness. And you will be in the world, but you'll be of a higher, or I should say a more expanded awareness of that which is true and real forever, the presence of God. You'll be the ambassador of it. And so it is. Amen. Peace and riches, blessings, and thank you for taking the pause that refreshes, restores, renews, regenerates, so that you can be more you. Continue to practice a little bit every day. Have a beautiful day. You can, because you are beauty itself. Peace and blessings. Your time is very valuable, so I want to thank you for tuning in to Take Back Your Mind. If you want to submit a life question, please do so. Email us at podcast@michaelbeckwith.com. And perhaps one day I'll be answering your question that will touch the lives of so many. If you've enjoyed the show, you might as well submit a 5-star review. You might as well tell your friends and family. Let's spread the love. Until we meet again, maintain your awareness. Take back your mind. Because when you take back your mind, you take back your life. Peace and blessings.
Become still and listen.